Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is Bradley, also known as the Swim Coach. Today, we're going to have a quick look back at Game Week 6 results, my points, how people got on in my fantasy football league. And then we're going to have a look at the fixtures, and then we're going to have a look at which players to look at from those fixtures. Okay, so if anyone does still want to join my league, the code is going to be up here, or there'll be a link down in the description. You've got until the end of this month to join that league. Otherwise, I'll be taking the link down from these videos. I will not put that code up at all. So let's get into this video. Let's talk about Game Week 6 and then into fixtures for Game Week 7. So I ended up with 58 points, above the average. We did use our free hit. Now, did that free hit work or not? Let's find out. So, Donnarumma in goal just gave us 2 beautiful points. Those points were just for the minutes only. Did I like it? Yes. Could I got better for my sub goalkeeper? We'll find out. Now, as you can see, we did get a red card. Yes, Callaway got a red card. Only played 52 minutes, got 1 point there. 3 goals conceded, but all 3 of those goals were after he got sent off. But because he got sent off, he considers being still on the pitch, and the goals conceded. So minus points there, minus points for the red card. So yeah, so minus 3 points. Keane I actually put in literally, as I was doing my video, I actually put him in, and I'm so glad I did put him in because he gave us 11 points. Minutes, scored the goal for Everton, bonus points, and the defensive contribution as well for 2 points. That was very, very lovely there from King. Ramiro, just the 90 minutes for those 2 points. Now we go into it. We go and we see we've got another minus points. And that is because Bruno Fernandes missed a penalty and got a yellow card, plus those 90 minutes. So yeah, so not a very good one for Bruno Fernandes. Simeo gave us 5 points, scored the goal and those played minutes, so that was lovely there. And Day, just 18 minutes for 2 points. Rigi, just 82 minutes, so just 5 points. City did win 5-1, mind you, as well. Bumba, just the 2 points for the minutes. Now we're going to go down and we're going to have a look at our forwards, our captain, which was Erling Haaland. And he gave us 32 points overall. 16 points plus the double captaincy. So 90, 2 goals. Both goals were scored plus 90. Assist and the bonus, which he got because he scored those 2 late goals. There we go. Joker, just the minutes played in the 2-1 win over Newcastle. What a result. Now, could we have done better? Well, probably the answer is yes, because we got minus 3 points. And there we go. So we could have got 1 point for our goalkeeper. We could have gone 10 points extra here. 3 extra points here. So that's 11. Yeah, 11 extra points we could have got. So we could have ended up with 69 points. So we will take it. And here are the results. I'll quickly show you. Very surprised results. Chelsea losing. Liverpool losing. Spurs getting a late equaliser. Arsenal getting a late winner. So very interesting there. Now let's have a look at my league. As you can see, I did drop position. We're down to 9th now. We do have a new leader who did really well, 85 points. I believe 85 points was the top of the list as well. Yes, it was. So again, we're going to have a little look. Use this triple captain. So that would have helped probably on Haaland. 48 points from Haaland. That does help a lot. But if you went someone like Gabriel, he would have got 39. So got there. So there was someone else who did really well, which we'll have a look in a minute. So that was quite nice. Actually, could he have done extra? I didn't check. Yeah, he could have done extra points. Could have gained 6 here, 4 here. So he could have gained 10, 11 extra points he could have gained. So very interesting there. Who did the worst in our league? And someone actually got 23 points. Someone had an absolute mare because they didn't take out any of their subs. So I think they've kept the same team the whole way through. Yes, they have. They've done no substitutions throughout. So we'll kind of let that one off. So now let's have a look at the fixtures for game week 7. Now, have a look here. I'm going to highlight it. Okay. This is UK time. So 6:30 Friday. So as this video goes out, this is tomorrow. Okay. So it's a 6:30 deadline. So we have a game on the Friday night. So please make sure you pay attention. Okay. And get your team sorted out by then. Bournemouth, Fulham on that Friday night. We start off with Leeds, Spurs at lunchtime kickoff. Then we've got two 3 o'clock kickoffs. We've got Arsenal versus West Ham. We've got Manchester United versus Sunderland. We have an evening kickoff, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. Then we have a handful of games on the Sunday. We have at 2 o'clock, we have Villa versus Burnley, Everton versus Palace, Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest, Wolves versus Brighton. Then we finish it off at 4:30 UK time, Brentford versus Manchester City. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we do go into an international break. Okay? We've got an international break after this. So make sure you pay attention. Okay? And then we come back on the 18th. Okay? And we have, it's a Saturday deadline. So just be careful. It is a Saturday deadline. Okay? We go all the way up to the Monday. And then the week after, the Friday night again. So we've got to make sure we get that done by. Okay? So they're the next 3 game week looks. Now, let's have a look at the top players that have been transferred in. Okay? And there are some surprising ones. And this is one that's surprised me when I had a look earlier on. Okay? And he's come in and he's done really well for a Sunderland team. And Sunderland are doing really well. But again, it is against Manchester United coming up. Then they've got, in a few games' times, Chelsea and Arsenal. So you've got to look very carefully at some of these fixtures that some of these players are going to have. But I do think that some Sunderland players are being looked over. And their value is very, very good at 4.1 million. You can't see that on my screen. There you go. Okay. So 4.1 million there. Anthony, another one. And look at these points that these guys are scoring. Okay. And that's where some people got to look at. And I think if you look closely, like someone like Docu, who's a 6.6 million, who could be a very good points person for Man City. Saka's getting back in the form of it, especially after last night in the Champions League. Gravenberg is another one where you got to look at. And I think for me, I'm looking for more after the Man City game. That's where I'm probably looking at. So game week 11. Someone like Enzo. Even Timber's done really well. And look at this. The Sunderland goalkeeper. Sunderland. He is scored really well. 6.5 points per game. And I think if you look closely at his points, he's going to get a lot from saves. He's going to get a lot from like defensive like stuff like that, getting out, passing it through. I think you've got to look very closely at him. 39 points overall. Very, very nice. Now, this is another one. I would probably wait for the Palace game week 10. He was a player that played. Well, he was supposed to come in last season, got an injury, missed out the whole season, and is doing really well. So I think, Thiago, you've got to look very closely if you want a budget of a £6 million midfielder. And that could be a good answer. Mateta, another good answer for you guys. And I think people got to look very closely, not just at those Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Man Cities, the Liverpools. Look where you can gain some of that extra value elsewhere. Especially, for example, if a club has a bad day or everything's left last minute and they just don't get as many points. You got to look. Now, for me, look who that top person is. That is the top player that is being sold. And that is a person called Mo Salah. I'm very surprised. But it is against Chelsea. You got United coming up as well, which is going to be always a big game. Then game week 11, you've got Man City. So again, that could be a good. It depends on how he gets on between Brentford and Villa. And I could kind of see where a lot of people are going to go. I think he's, what can I say? He's stock is going to drop. And then I think a lot of people then can get extra points because of that. Another top player, of course, who are Liverpool playing, Chelsea, Pedro. But remember, he got sent off in the Champions League game. So he'll definitely play this week. He'll probably play against Forest because he ain't got a game midweek. Well, not should I say. He'll come back for the Chelsea game. He'll come play for the Liverpool game. He'll go on international duty. Then he'll play Fulham, Forest. Get my words right here. Play Forest. And because of game week 8 till 9, they've got a Champions League game. He won't play in that. So he'll definitely play in the Sunderland game. So I think, looking closely, that's the game where I think a lot of people are going to bring him back in. Wood, for me, he hasn't been firing. He's just picking up points here and there. The only game was the first game of the season when he scored his 2 goals. Other than that, he hasn't done anything. So I think you've got to look very carefully at this, guys, and think about his total. Palmer was advised about the international break. So we expect that in TK. Again, muscle injury probably after the international break. So I think people out there got to look at Livramento. The worst thing is I was thinking about bringing in Livramento for this Forest game and for these next few games. But he got a knee injury. He's out until literally like next month. He's got 6 weeks out, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Those 6 weeks will be playing against Man City. So I don't see that happening at all in playing against Man City. Maybe against Everton. And then Tottenham, Burnley and Sunderland. That's actually quite a nice little fixture run there for them. Christmas time, they do have a bit of a hard-ish fixtures. Well, Chelsea and Manchester United. Well, yeah. Burnley, New Year's, that's a good one as well. So yeah, so I think people out there, you've got to look very closely about some of the fixtures coming up. Game week 7, game week 8, game week 9. Plan. But the other thing is, after this game week, please don't just go and transfer loads of people out for the next game week. There isn't an international break. What happens if you do a transfer and that player gets injured? That's a waste of a transfer. Especially if it's one of the high value players as well. And I don't want you guys out there taking free hits. So please make sure don't do any transfers until the game after the international break. Very much needed. Okay. So just bear with me. Okay. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely time, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye from now.